Well, hey everyone, just a quick video update. Recent video I just did, link is going to be up there that way, where the letter I is popping out now. We were talking about the MS-101 and there was some issues with the sequencer. So, you know, on social media and on the comments, I had a few people say to me, did you put a support ticket in with Behringer? And my answer was, of course I did. And they actually got back to me, and the answer was that there's probably a fix in this firmware update, which is firmware 1.1.2. And it came out according to this document on the 17th of May. And this is basically what the update is going to address. So let's have a quick look at this. It talks about the two things, I guess, that I mentioned in the video. We'll have a look at it, see if it does actually fix it. The first one was there was no way for me to disable the sequencer from start-stop messages, and it looks like they've given us the ability to send a SYSEX code here, which activates or deactivates external sync, which is really going to be cool. So we'll have a look at that in a sec. So they've also corrected two things. The first one is there was a problem where the sequencer would skip the first step when synced with external MIDI clock, and I think that might be my issue. So we'll see if that's the one. They also identified that there was an issue with the first loop of the ARP where a key triggered a dual note. So didn't know about that one, so there you go. What's been improved is latency in ARP mode. I didn't know there was latency in ARP mode either, so that's cool. And they've added a feature now where you can have playback bidirectional, so you can play it forward or you can go shift play stop and it will play it in reverse. So that's a new feature. So anyway, why don't we do the update now? I've got the MS-101 here. There she is, she's running in the background there. So we've got that connected at the moment with the USB. So what I'd like to do is I actually want to try out their Mac update. Last time I tried out their Windows updater and it didn't work, and I ended up having to use SYSEX librarian on Mac. So we're going to try out their updater here, which requires me to run their updater. So let's give that a go, see how we can go. Now it's not finding the synth. It should show it here. Anyway, let's have a quick look. 1.2, there's the update file there. Anyway, so yes, it's correctly identified that 1.08 is on mine and 1.1.2 is the update. So let's give that a whirl. We're going to click start update and cross our fingers. Let's go. It's searching for the device. It did find it before. So I don't know what's going on there. It's updating. Let's have a quick look. Quick. I don't want to miss out. Is it going to? Let me move that down here so we can see that going at the same time. Oh, look at that. You can see all the lights on and it's doing a little dance. Boom. Okay. Updated successfully. Okay, let's see. Now, what I want to do is an old trick. No, we don't want to turn that off. We're going to turn just off the screen for a sec. So an old trick would be, this is identified, it reckons now that it's 1.1.2, but it's just done the update. So it might be assuming that in the code. Why don't we close that app, quit it. And while we've got it, why don't we power this off like that. Give it a second or two for the computer to go, oh, I don't have a connection anymore. That's how computers talk, if you're ever wondering. Turn it back on again. Let it boot up. Dum-ba-dum-ba-dum. Groovy. All right, let's close that window for a sec so we can see the screen. Groovy. Let's just run the updater again and see if it finds it. Last time I had to open that. Okay. Ah, beautiful. So there you go. That kind of opening that SYSEX file kind of like forces it to check. So it's saying that it's 1.1.2. Okay, for me that may be good enough. But what's going to be better is if we get this thing running on Ableton. Notice, I don't know if you guys can see that, but just below me here is the SYSEX. When it did the update, that's the SYSEX commands that it sent it. That's interesting. I'm actually glad that I had that running. So there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 SYSEX commands. And just out of curiosity, there were 5 issues. That's interesting. So I wonder if those specific SYSEX commands address those issues. Anyway, whoever's watching the video may be able to confirm or deny. Let's get our MS-101 back up. This is the one that I had on that previous video. So we've got that running. Now I want to run in the MS-101 again so we can see all of that. Okay. Right, so last time the problem we had was when we're hitting start on the sequence, it was causing the MS-101 inbuilt sequence to delay its start. Right, so now if I check to see if we've got the MS-101 connected, and it is, and it's set to sync, and if I hit play, it's not actually, it's not sending the clock, which means that, if I go right back to my update. Now the update document said 01F7 is active and 00F7 is deactive. Okay, you guys can't see that, sorry. I should turn that off. Go back to here. So see, in here, we're looking at these two SYSEX messages here, right? So 1D01F7 means that the clock sync is active, and 1D00F7 means it's deactive. And if we look below me, the first SYSEX message that it sent may be a different message. Okay, we're going to need to send that SYSEX message to, don't know if that's what the problem is, but this is going to force it to be active. Alright, just a future me here, just coming in for the edit, just to let you know, there was a little kind of thing that tripped me up here when I was doing the video, and that was that it looked like after I applied the firmware update, the sequence start stop feature has been disabled in the synth, and it meant that you actually did have to then go in and work out how to send that SYSEX command. So that might be a trap for you guys if you're wondering. By doing the firmware update, I found that it disabled the sequence start stop part of it. So anyway, later on in the video you'll also discover some recommendations that I've given to Behringer about this actual firmware update, but to add to that recommendation, maybe don't disable the sequence start stop, because by default that's how the synth was when we first got it. So yeah, back to the video. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to get the SYSEX command happening, and the way I'm going to do it is I'm going to use my Roland A500 Pro here, because I know it sends SYSEX, and I'm just going to set up this toggle pad A5, which is this one here. I'm going to set it to be a latch button, and this is going to be a little bit different for you if you don't have the A500 Pro or a something Pro, because the SYSEX message that they give us has, just here you'll see 01 for active and 00 for deactive, right? But in the A500 Pro, it takes this command called DT, and DT is here, the data type, and you set 0 and 1, and it means that that button there will be 0 when it's unlit and 1 when it's lit. So now if you look below, it's going to be hard to see because it's got this active sensing stuff dribbling away, but if I hit the button here, you can see it's lit, and you can see that below me it says 0, 1 there. Now that means that it's active, which means if I go into Ableton now and I hit play, it starts the sequencer. Beautiful. So if I go back into the A500 Pro and I hit, you can see it's lit up there. If I hit that, you watch the SYSEX below me, it changes it to 0, 0. That now means that the MIDI clock sync is deactivated on the MS-101, and if I hit play there and stop, so that is actually really cool. So they definitely have given us that feature. I will admit though, it's a little bit difficult to get that to happen. They haven't done a command so that I can do a shift function here to activate and deactivate the sequencer, and I think for the end user, sending a SYSEX message is going to be way, way, way too difficult. So yes, it's really cool that they've added that feature, but make it so that the everyday user can just, you know, maybe make it so it's when you power it on, you hold down shift. I don't know, something like that, if you can't do it within this part here. But I think because it's just a SYSEX command, I think you should easily be able to program that SYSEX command into your firmware. So Behringer, if you're watching, please implement that. That'd be great. Now, the other thing that we were looking at is in Ableton to see if the sequencer would actually start and stop. And we need to turn that back on again, of course, so that we're syncing it. And I want to see the delay on how quickly it starts it. So let's give that a whirl. Go. Good. That's enough data for us to check. And now we're going to zoom in. So that's starting smack bang right on the start of the beat. Whereas that one was slightly off. Sorry, that was the one that was way off. So that's definitely fixed the sequencer issue. Brilliant, that's actually fixed it. So it's confirmed it's fixed it. You can see that below, guys. That's starting smack bang on the bar. So I'm starting the sequence from Ableton, and I'm actually recording the actual inbuilt sequencer here. So that's definitely fixed the problem. All right, and what was the other thing we wanted to check? Well, let's check the playback direction. So let's go shift play. And then, so there you go. It's shift play or just play, and it reverses the sequence. So that's a cool new feature. Latency and ARP. I mean, we can check ARP while we're at it. So let's get the clock going. Ready? Go. Sounds like a Pong game. I have no problem with that ARP. There's no latency in that. That, you know, scientific latency probably, but to the ear, to a musician's ear, that's fine. So what was the other thing? That's the 5 things. One key triggered dual note first. That's been fixed. I can tell that's been fixed because that would have done it just then. So it's done all those 5 things. So I would say, guys, just as a quick dirty video, but yeah, those little things that I found in my previous video, which was only a few days ago, has been fixed by Behringer in firmware 1.1.2. So if you guys haven't got that, there's a link down in the description on how to get yourself a copy of that. And yeah, thanks for watching, and it's cool to see them being active. Gonna have to keep an eye on that downloads page because it looks like there's been some activity. Anyway, thumbs up if you like the video. Don't forget to hit subscribe, and we'll catch you next time. Don't forget the live stream on Saturday, which is only tomorrow. So see you then. Cheers.